Hi everyone, it's Martin. Hope everyone's doing really good. Just wearing the headphones today. I just wanted to monitor the sound, make sure that I'm able to improve on the sound. Sound is everything in a video, isn't it? I mean, visuals are great, but the sound is also equally important. I mean, you don't go to a picture movie house, do you, and sit through bad sound. You normally walk out, don't you? So most people now, because of the way technology is just moving on, they're all trying to find ways to improve not just the visuals but the sound. Anyway, right, now I want to get into the main topic here. And the topic which I want to discuss is why the Jehovah's Witnesses no longer, and this happened a few years ago, they no longer charge for the Watchtower and the Awake magazine. And I think it's got a lot to do with the fact that they don't want to come across as peddlers. And behind me I've got up a bit of a scripture and an example of the Apostle Paul when he was trying to defend himself in the Corinthian congregation, and the reasons in which he gave was evident demonstration that he certainly wasn't a peddler, that his main priority most definitely was to get the gospel to as many people as possible, and often under great duress, and certainly this would cost him dearly. He would have to fund a lot of the missionary trips that he did. He would find a way of doing it himself. He wasn't a burden, and neither was Jesus Christ. So you couldn't really classify those two as peddlers of God's word. When I think of a peddler, I think of a retailer, someone that's got an agenda to make money from God's word. You often see those salesmen in the Wild West, don't you? And they're peddling medicines, and their main objective is to make as much money out of unsuspecting people as possible. I say unsuspecting because a lot of these medicines were untried, untested, and sometimes made people a lot worse. But in relation to peddling God's word in modern times and making profit from doing so, would you say that this is scriptural? Would you say that if you had a pure heart and you wanted people around to know that your main objective was to spread the truth, the word about your former religion, and you wanted to do this with a pure heart and a pure spirit, would you then want to make a profit from those people that have come to listen to your word? Now, I think this is up to your conscience, this one. I don't think anybody can just turn around and say that it's totally wrong, because you would have to then consider how much it's cost you, and if that cost has started to affect your family life and devalued your economic present situation, and that all you're asking for in return is to draw level so that you're not out of pocket, so to speak, then I don't think there'd be much problem. I mean, I don't think I could consider that to be a problem. I would only consider it to be a problem if you came across as a retailer or as a merchant, and your once honourable intentions when you first started to alert people about your older religion that you used to belong to, and your objectives have then changed because you've then got people to listen to what you have to say, and as a result of that you decided that this would be a good way to make money. And in that case I would say that is probably what the first Corinthian congregations were accusing the Apostle Paul of, that they actually thought that while he was taking his gospel around, he was doing it as a merchant to make money. And we know that just wasn't the case. So you have to examine your heart, and you would have to then say, am I alerting the present day people of the world who have since left the Jehovah's Witness faith, am I doing this because I'm doing it out of a pure heart? I'm doing it because I've woke up and I think I'd like to share what I know with other people, and consequently, if that costs me money to do that, to alert people, then I'm quite willing to do fund it myself. But if it was your intention to look for weak people and then to extract money from them, then certainly I would say that was wrong. And that would be a time for people that do listen to you to send a message back to you, to tell you that this is certainly not a Christian thing to do. No Christian with a pure heart would do that. And yet I do find that there is a percentage of people that have turned into merchandising. And although I don't have a problem with it, as I said earlier, if they're going to recoup the expenditure that they've outlaid, I do have a problem with it if they come across as a merchant. They're wearing t-shirts, they're turning up at rallies with their own name on. It's hardly bringing a blessing to God, is it? You know, it's quite sad. And everyone's got the right to say no, but it's such an ugly thing to see. Turning up at a rally outside a Jehovah's Witness convention and advertising your own channel. Okay, you want people to subscribe to you, fair enough. But it just seems to me as if that's your main objective. That's all you're interested in.